Welcome, everyone, to Rulebook Rundown. My name's Alan Paquette, and today I'm super excited to be doing my first playthrough of Final Girl. Yes. I've been seeing a lot online lately, more positive than negative. There's definitely are some people that don't like the game, but I anticipate liking the game quite a bit. So, naturally, what I want to do is go into this lore and scenario book and give a little bit of lore on the character, both Hans and Lori, that we're doing for the first scenario, and we'll see if I can go through everything. There's a lot of scenarios, and this is just for season 1 that I'd be working on right now, since I haven't played it at all yet. I don't think jumping into season 2 is probably that wise of a choice. So I guess sit back, relax. We have some Fabler up listening in the background, so hopefully that'll add a little ambiance to what we're doing here and the spooky nature. And it will be this is definitely not the typical family friendly stuff, between some of the story, some swearing, and obviously the situations and graphic stuff is a little more spooky, so just a disclaimer for that at the beginning. But I think with that, we are ready to go. So let's dive in to Camp Happy Trails and see what happens. Lori Carpenter was born with a chip on her shoulder. Even from a young age, the fastest way to get her to do something was to tell her that she couldn't do it. No, you can't try out for football. No, you can't learn how to play guitar. No, you can't take martial arts. Whenever she heard the word no, a switch flipped somewhere deep inside her, and she would do everything within her power to accomplish the very thing she'd been told she couldn't do. While this quality turned Lori into an ambitious, focused, and tough-as-nails woman, it didn't exactly win her many friends. Most people were turned off by her intensity, and a lot of people who came into her orbit were a bit scared of her. Even at 5'10", Lori gave off the vibe that she could break you in two if she felt like it, no matter how much bigger or stronger you might be. But those who stuck around discovered a fiercely loyal friend who would go to hell and back for them. One thing was for certain: you definitely wanted Lori on your side, and you'd better run for your life if you were her enemy. Cool. And the first scenario, we will be going against Hans the Butcher at Camp Happy Trails. Oh, there we go. The campers sat around the fire, pretending to listen to another one of Edwin's famous spooky stories. Some were giggling, others were checking their phones, but all of them were pissing the counselor off. "Listen up, you little pissants!" That got their attention. Clearly the stories hadn't been scary enough, so we'll cut the kiddie crap. He paused for effect, which more or less worked. "Have you ever heard of Hans?" "You mean the guy in the piggy mask? Big deal. One smartass threw back..." One smartass threw back in his face. "It's called a German shame mask, dipshit. Now listen up." For once, they did. Hans made everyone in the small town of Happy Trails uncomfortable. The boy never spoke, which was part of it. He would tag along with his parents and older siblings whenever they came to town to hawk their wares, standing in the back of the butcher's stall, looking down on everyone. That was also a source of the unease, his freakish height. Although he was the youngest child in the Metzger clan, a family of butchers who had immigrated from Germany, he towered over all of them, even Helmut, the family's imposing patriarch. But his height and lack of speech weren't the real reasons why the town avoided him and children ran in fear. It was the wooden pig mask that he wore. "That's just my naughty little Liebchen, always too hungry for his own good," Ada, his mother, would say when asked about it. The townsfolk came to understand that Hans was being punished for his gluttony, forced to display his shame for all to see. His appetite must have been ravenous. He was never seen without the mask, although wet munching sounds could be heard from beneath it. Hans was tolerated because the meat the Metzgers sold out of their stall was better than anything else in town. Putting up with their giant mask-wearing freak was a small price to pay for pork chops and ribeyes of this quality. Over time, things changed. Fewer of the children came to market. "They're all tending the farm while we are gone," Ada began to waste away. "A recent illness, that's all." And Helmut became sallow and hollow-eyed. "Just a season of hard work, nothing more." Hans's presence remained unchanged, with the exception that his wooden mask had been replaced by a brutal-looking iron one. The residents of Happy Trails said nothing publicly. Privately, they began enjoying their steak dinners less and less. One month, the Metzgers simply didn't appear to market. No Helmut, no Ada, no Hans, and no prime rib. The town decided to send a small search party to the farm to check on the family. They found it deserted. The house was empty. No animals grazed in the pasture. An eerie quiet lay over the entire property, as if even the birds and insects had left. The last place they looked was the barn, an imposing red structure behind the main homestead that the Metzgers had used as their slaughterhouse. They opened the doors and went inside. Afterwards, the search party refused to talk about what they had seen. Inside, they burned the barn and the rest of the farm to the ground and walked back to Happy Trails with the look of soldiers returning from war. "The Metzgers are gone," is all they would say. The other butchers in town went out of business. The appetite for meat evaporated overnight. Animals began disappearing first. A goat here, a cow there, every so often a beloved family dog. The first child to go missing shocked Happy Trails, which had always been a safe community, but it was only after the fourth had disappeared that people began to leave. Thomas Hofstetter said he saw an enormous dark shape drag Maria Woodson into the dark. Others said they heard crunching sounds coming from the woods at night. Most believed them and fled. Some remained out of stubbornness. That year was a census year, but when the census takers arrived at Happy Trails, they found it utterly empty. Many of the doors were open, with rotting meals on the table, as if the families living there had simply disappeared mid-bite. Eventually, the town was razed and forgotten. Happy Trails, population 0. Years later, this camp was built on top, where the town once was. Over there, Edwin pointed off into the dark. That's where the Metzgers' farmstead used to be. If you listen carefully, you can still hear Hans wandering through the trees, dragging his hammer and munching on something wet and chewy beneath his iron mask. As all of the campers turned to look, they heard a wet crunching sound in the trees. Right on cue, they screamed, with some even hightailing it in the opposite direction. Edwin began to laugh. "You little punks, we planned that. Zeke was hiding in the woods, waiting to make his Hans sound until I finished the story." The last thing Edwin heard was a sickening crunch as his skull collapsed in a geyser of bone and scarlet. The immense figure behind him in an iron pig mask hoisted the giant hammer, now slick with blood, and surveyed the remaining campers, some fleeing into the woods and others frozen in fear. In the flickering firelight, it looked as if the mask was smiling. Hans couldn't help but admire the lovely buffet that had been delivered to his home, like pigs to the slaughter. Woof. That's some rough stuff. All right, well, we are doing Scenario 1, Night of the Pig. So we are using Hans. And we are in Camp Happy Trails. And we are Lori. Lori had never wanted to come to camp, much less participate in the annual nighttime treasure hunt, but her girlfriend had been very convincing. "It'll be fun, babe. Come on, do it for me." Lori could never say no to Lucy. Within minutes of the starting whistle, they'd become separated, and now Lori was lost and becoming angrier by the minute. But her anger turned to fear when the screams began. She frantically began searching for something to use as a weapon. Anything. When she remembered that the new camp director was a pacifist and had gotten rid of archery, wood carving, and anything resembling a weapon. "Damn it, Lucy. What have you gotten us into?" Lori would have to make do with her hands if she and Lucy were going to survive the night and whatever was out there in the dark. Woo. Okay, so our specific setup for Night of the Pig in the scenario thing. The final girl is Lori. We've got Lori. The setup is Treasure Hunt, which is this setup card up here, and we have populated the board as Treasure Hunt dictates. The items, it has a list of items in here of 12 specific items, which we have shuffled and are randomly distributed to the 3 locations there. There are 2 events, Stubborn Kids and Girlfriend, and according to this, the event cards should be the order they're listed, with Stubborn Kids on top, which means that'll be into play at the beginning of the game. And then Camp Happy Trails Terror cards and Hans Terror cards, so it has a specific breakdown of what our terror deck is, and those are all shuffled. The Dark Power is Dark Obsession, and the finale is Bloodbath, and those start face down, and we will accrue those as we progress. There are no special rules for this one, so we are good to go. Another reminder disclaimer is that this is my, I guess, second time playing. I've watched a bit of it, so hopefully I won't have to reference the rules. I'll probably still be scoping out the turn summary on the back, but I think I know what's going on for the most part. So here we go. Let's see. Well, first we'll take a look at the items here. We've got the map, the pepper spray, and the lucky rabbit's foot. The map we can discard, and then for each deck of item cards, we can either reveal the top card if it's face down, or if it's face up, we can remove it from the game and reveal the next card. So that just kind of helps us search through the decks a little bit more. I don't know if that's that much we need to go for. The pepper spray is at the dock. It's one-handed, and if the killer's in your space, you may discard this to immediately end the killer phase. Ignore the remaining movement, attacks, and any other effects. That seems real good, because Hans hits for lots. Like his base attack is 2, and that gets up pretty high, and we only have 5 health. So that'll, yeah, we probably want to try to get pepper spray. So that's at the dock. That's over here. Of course, it's close to him. That figures. Let's see. Lucky Rabbit's Foot is in the utility shed, which is all the way up here. You discard during the action phase to make a horror roll. For each success, choose one of the following. Gain 2 time, heal 1, go down in horror, or move 1 space. Okay. That's pretty good, but that's all the way over there. Our event of Stubborn Kids says, damn teenagers think they know everything. 1 less victim will follow you. That's a pretty big bummer, because you normally can only carry or bring 1 victim along with you when you move out of a space. So, or excuse me, you normally can carry 2. So with Stubborn Kids, you can only do 1. Ugh. And the overall goal is to defeat Hans, who has 12 health. That's a lot. But when we grab victims and bring them out to these green spaces, which also have the door, it's down here the bottom right, and then right up at the top middle. Those are the exits. So if we bring them there, we can choose to rescue them. And on our character card, each time we rescue somebody, they can cover up one of these bonuses, and we will gain that bonus immediately, which is super good. And then once we have 6 that we've rescued, then we'll flip over to her special ability. In her case, whenever you're in the same space as an enemy and inflict damage, do an additional damage. That's really good. And then for each additional victim saved, you gain a time. It's at the bottom. These shiny ones don't really work so well in the zoom in. Oh well. We're stuck with it for now. Alright. So that's kind of our goal. So we don't have to save them, but we should save them, that sort of thing. And anytime that victims are killed, which will happen frequently, then the bloodlust value goes up, and as it progresses, we will gain horror, and the higher the horror, the fewer dice we get to use. And eventually we get to a dark power, which is super not good, and his movement and attack keeps increasing. So, it's scary time. Alright, so we have our starting hand of cards. That's a couple of focuses, which will lower our horror. Short rest heals, weak attack hits. We're not anywhere near him, so that doesn't really matter. And then walking lets us move spaces. So I think we probably want to try and get... Let's see. We can only carry one person at a time. So maybe we try to focus on getting this guy out. Maybe do a little bit of back and forth here. And then hopefully the killer goes the other way, and then we can sneak in and to the dock and get that pepper spray. Seems like a kind of, sort of. Alright, so we'll come down here, and I think the first thing that we maybe want to do is probably try to focus. Because if we get our horror, which starts at 4 with Hans, if we get that down to 1, in this green zone, we'll get to roll 3 dice for our actions instead of 2. And that'd be super good. So I think I'm going to start with a focus. And let's see, we'll put it there. So right now, our horror is in the 2 section. So we will roll 2 dice. And we have partial successes. So in order to make those a success, we have to discard 2 cards. Alright. So I will just bring those down here. This is our current roll. I think I'm going to discard the weak attack and short rest. So those will just be face down to make one of these a success. To get to the single success. So that will lower our horror by 1. And it also costs us 1 time. So unfortunately we don't gain time. Time is also going to be, not only is it an action resource for some of the actions, but then we also use it to purchase new cards. So we don't want to go through all the time, or we're going to be in a bad way. Let's see. So I think now maybe we take a walk this time. Alright. So we can hopefully get a little bit of movement here. We have 1 success and a partial success. Okay. So, looking back at the card, 1 success, we move up to 1 space. And if we get 2 successes, we can move 2 spaces. But we would have to give up both of these cards. You know what? It's early enough. Let's go for it. I also don't know good strategies for this, so don't treat this as this is a good way to play the game. I really don't know. So I'm going to discard those 2. That gets a second success. To move 2 spaces, it costs 1 time for this. And we will move 1 right here, and then move back and bring that victim. Normally it would probably be good to get a second and go, but because of the stubborn kids, it's only one. Alright, so now that I've used all of my cards, I will choose to go to the planning phase. These are still kind of in the play area and kind of out, not available. And we have 4 time left to spend on other cards. Cost is in the bottom right here. I am using the... in one of the bonus things, they have signature actions, a whole stack of them, and you randomly, or you can choose, but I randomly shuffled and just picked one, to be in the game. So we have one signature card of Discipline, where you can place a victim from out of play onto your final girl card and take the victim save benefit with 2 successes. Or place a victim from out of play onto your card and don't take the victim save benefit. Or if you fail, you just lose 2 time. So we have 4 to spend. I kind of think that right now, maybe getting a distraction to lower our horror will probably be good. That costs 3. Because I would imagine that having more dice is gonna be always better than having fewer dice. So we'll take that one for 3. We have 1 left. May as well get a close call. Costs us 1. Puts us down to 0. So we finish the planning phase. Our time goes back up to 6. This is our hand up here. And then all the cards that we have spent go back into the tableau. So all those starting cards cost 0. So next turn we will be able to pick them all back up, which is obviously all of the cards. So we have our 2 cards now for the next turn, and hopefully hopefully that's an okay choice. Alright, so there we go. So that is our turn. Now we go up to the villain's turn. Let's see, the killer phase. So we first resolve the killer action, which for Hans, it is to target the nearest person, either final girl or victim, and then attack. And excuse me, Hans just attacks in his space. So his killer move, he actually doesn't have movement on that. So he's technically targeting either of these because they're equidistant to him, but still attacking in his location and not moving. So that's okay. After we resolve that, then we draw a terror card. So that is over here. He just came out of nowhere. Place Hans with the farthest target possible. Okay. So, that's probably going to be up here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So, Hans goes here. Yikes. And then our horror increases. So that'll be right here. Whoop. Horror goes up. And then draw the next terror card. That's pretty bad. If we go through the entire terror deck, at the end of the turn that the last card is gone, then we will end up flipping Hans's finale card. Then he's going to start booking it around and wrecking folk. So getting through the terror deck is not great. Taking souvenirs. If there are no victims on the board, discard and draw the next terror card. There are victims on the board. Otherwise, he targets the victim, which is in his space. He would move twice, but he's already there, so he's not going to move. And he attacks twice. Great. So his attack is 2, but victims all have 1 health. So since he attacks twice, he kills 1. And when... Well, okay. Instead of doing it one at a time, we understand. He's killing both. every time a victim is killed, bloodlust increases. So that increased twice, which put him at the next horror mark, which then moves our horror up to 5. I'm now really glad I got that distraction. And then, for each victim killed during the killer phase, which were 2... Wait, is this still the killer phase? This is still the killer phase. Doggone it. There were 2. Bloodlust goes up 2 more. Oh, that's brutal. 1, 2. Another horror. Wow. Wow, what a start. So that's discarded there. Holy cow. Alright, the panic phase happens if there's anybody on his location in a turn that he kills anybody, they then panic. Nobody's on his location, so we do not panic. He just warped across the whole place, murked 2 kids, and yeah, yikes. Alright. Upkeep phase is when we would reveal the finale if the terror deck's empty, but it's not. And then we can rearrange items if we had items in our backpack. We can only have 2 hands worth of items, and at the upkeep phase, at the end of each round, we can redistribute items in our backpack with items we have on hand. I don't think that's going to matter for this particular instance or scenario because, as it said in the story, they took all of the weapons away. So pepper spray might be our only thing that holds in a hand. Alright, then it is back to our action phase. Well, we don't have many options, so I guess we're going to use the distraction. If our horror had increased 1 more, then we'd only be able to roll 1 die, which is super bad. So we still get to roll 2, since we're in this gray area, and we really want 2 successes for this. So here we go. Oh, no successes. Alright, so I think we will use our close call. Play after any horror roll. We can either re-roll any 1 die or re-roll all dice for 2 time. Whew, that was close. Good thing I averted that disaster. Or did I? I think we have to try to re-roll that, all of it. So we'll lose 2 time and try this again. Oh, baby. Let's go. Alright. 2 stars. We lose 2 horror. Boop, boop. And we gain 2 time. Boop, boop. Okay. So it was like sort of a wash of a turn. Because now these cards are done. And we have no other thing to do. So we now purchase cards. Alright, we've got 6 time. I think that we should probably get a sprint so we can run quick. So that's 2. So we got 4 left. Let's see. 4 left. We're not close enough to a place to search, so that's probably not worthwhile. I don't think we want to take 2 sprints for 1 turn. Maybe we do? Four left. Okay. How about another distraction for 3, and then a close call for 1. That's 6 altogether. Boom. Oh, and then we take all of our 0 cost. So we do have a hand limit of 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are not there yet. So we take all of those. This resets. These go back where they go. And that is it for our turn. Hey, Magic Moose. Final Girl is hard so far. We've had... This is turn 2, and at the end of turn 1, he had already killed 2 victims and increased the bloodlust an extra 2, so yeah, we're kind of hurting already. Yes, I did back 20 strong. I'm a very big Chip Theory fan, and I need to have all their stuff. So that was an easy get for me, for sure. Okay, so we've returned our things. Killer phase. We resolve his attack where he's at. Nobody's there. That's good. So now we do a terror. This is bad. Horrific hammer rush. No victims on the board. Discard. Nope. Otherwise, target the nearest victim, which is 2 away from him. Oh, come on. Alright. So, he's targeting the nearest victim. There's no pathway between these two. So the space that we're in is actually the closest victim. And then he moves twice. And he's got a movement of 1. So he does make it there. 1, 2 with us. And then he attacks twice. Oh boy. So his attack right now, based on the bloodlust, is 3 damage. He always hits the victims first, and there's nothing that we can currently do about that. So, he kills the victim with his first attack, which means bloodlust goes up, which means he gets his dark power, which is Dark Obsession. Whenever Hans attacks you at least once, he attacks an additional time. This is going to be over, like, right now. Turn 2. Okay, his second attack, he attacks us. Let's double check our cards. We can only use blue ones. Nope. Alright, neat. So he attacks us for 3. So we lose 1, 2, 3 health. And then, because of the Dark Obsession that is now here, whenever Hans attacks you at least once, he attacks additional time for another 3. So now we see so this is our final health. And how this works is there are like 9 of these tokens. 3 of them have health on the backside, and the rest of them don't. So when we take this final point of damage, we flip it over to see if we spring back to life. And we do. Yes. So it ends his turn immediately, which is good. If he had more attacks, then they would not happen. So this now, we return with 1 health. Does that mean it's looking like a bad streak of Marvel Champions? Yeah, like with a quickness. Let's see. So I know we get 1 health back. I can't remember if it is the white health. The health's full for the second time. Okay. Alright, it does include the white health. So, I need to grab from the box. Everyone I talk to says they're a big Chip Theory fan. Yeah. I met them at, I worked at an Origins some years back, and they were there when Undertow was on Kickstarter, and met them there and played that and Triplock, and then ended up coming home with Too Many Bones and Triplock, and then have been on board with all their stuff ever since. Okay, so we now have 1 health left. If we are at 1 health, we gain an additional die until we get more health. So that's, something, I guess. It's not gonna matter. We're gonna be dead. Because it ended the killer phase, they don't trigger the for each victim killed gain a horror, which is awesome. So we discard that. Panic. There's no other people there. We never panic. It's only the victims that panic, so we don't have to worry about that. And then upkeep, we don't have any items to swoop around, so it is our turn. Let's see, gonna back 20 strong within. Saw they were gonna do Manny Tremblay as an artist one, like a few months. And I was like, maybe wait for that one. It's gonna be good. I like the Too Many Bones one. The Solar Sentinel still looks pretty cool by itself, but then the Too Many Bones, and then I can't remember what the other one was. The Cloud Spire was the other one. I don't remember. May have been some other thing. It was cheap enough compared to a lot of other games that, like, yeah, it's fine. Okay, so we're in trouble. We have a weak attack. I don't think that we want to attack him right now. I think we want to try to get out of dodge. So we are going to sprint like there's no tomorrow. So our horror says that we have 2 dice, and then we're on the final health, so we get a 3rd die. Let's go. Haha, 2 successes. Hoplomachus, yeah, that was probably the 3rd one. And then I'm a sucker for Manny's artwork also, so yeah, I totally get that. Okay, so with the 2 successes, we can move up to 3 spaces, and it costs us 1 time. All right, run 1. 1. We're gonna use this person as bait. 2, 3, and get to the docks. Yeah. All right. Well, we need to utilize this short rest for sure. So the biggest downside of the short rest here is if you fail, you do heal, but the horror goes up, a time goes down, and this means that your turn ends immediately. So even if we have all these other cards, our turn would end immediately. I don't know if I want to use that right now. I really want to search here, but we don't have the search card. Ugh. So let's see. We could try to do distraction and focus to get our horror into the green. And then we'd be rolling 4 dice for the short rest. I think based on where we're at, I'm going to try to do that. All right. So we'll go for distraction. Still rolling 3 dice. All right. We have 1 success and a partial success. Okay. So we'll drop a weak attack and a focus to get that 2nd success. Then that will lower our horror by 2 and increase our time by 2. Okay. And then we'll try to focus again, or use a focus. And we're still at 3 dice. We need this. 5 is a success. Okay, so we have a success and a partial success. So we can either take the single success, and we'll go down 1 time, or if we discarded 2 cards, we would go up 2 time. But then we're running the risk of not being able to successfully rest, which we need to do, I think. Right? I don't know. Okay, we'll just take the single success, get our horror into the green. We lose a time. But maybe we walk and get... Ooh. Okay, I think I got it. Here we go. All right, we're going to try to walk. We roll 4 dice now. 2 successes would be great. Boom. 2 successes. Okay. Move up to 2 spaces, and it costs 1 time. So here we go. Move 1 space. We can only take 1 person. Stubborn kids. They escape. We move 1 space, which is immediately that. And then that was 1 space that we moved. So now we move space 2 and save them. And yeah, we take the heart here to heal 1. Unfortunately, now that we've healed, we don't get that extra die, so we will be rolling 3, but that should be good enough. So I'll take one of these back, and then we will short rest to try to get more health, and we're rolling 3. Oh, that's not ideal. All right, 1 success is to heal 1 and reduce our time even more. Really want that heal 2. We do have close call in hand, so I think we'll use that. We're going to save the walk to re-roll any 1 die. Okay, so we're going to come up here, take these out so they don't get bumped, re-roll this 1. Into a 4. Not enough. Bummer. Okay. Still 1 success. So we heal 1. Boop. We're at 3 of our 5. And that costs us a time. Keep the walk in hand. And that is our action turn. Purchasing. We have 4 to spend. Can't buy these. 4 to spend. Now I'm scared and kind of want to like have a guard on hand. We need a search. Is 2. Yeah, I think we do a guard just in case he gets over to us. Because now we don't have that potential option of having the extra bit. Although even if we guard all the damage, he will always attack us twice. Ugh. So we would still have to heal 1 more and then prevent all the damage once to survive. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. All right. We'll go for a discipline instead. Try to get more peeps on our board. I have no idea how we're going to do this. Alright, so these all go back now. Sprint, distraction, close call. These. Okay. That resets. We have our walk, discipline, and search. Walk's going to get us back to the dock. Maybe. This is all assuming that we never have to, or that we always get 1 success. Walk gets us back to the dock. Search gets us the pepper spray. Oh, the pepper spray would block... Oh no, that blocks the entire turn. So that would keep us alive for a whole thing. And then discipline can maybe get us a thing. Okay, there we go. That's our turn. Up to the killer. He attacks in his location. Good job. Terror card. He wants fresh blood. There's no victims on the board. Discard, draw another terror card. Otherwise, target the nearest victim, which is right here, and then move twice. Now his move is 2, so his move twice is moving 4 spaces. Yikes. So he definitely gets there. And then he attacks. And he has an attack of 3. And that gets this guy. So they're dead. And then the Bloodlust goes up by 1 more. Okay. No panics. And no upkeep stuff. Back to us. Alright. Let's go for it. We're gonna walk. Thankfully our horror didn't go up, so we still have 3 dice. That's neat. Alright. We need at least 1 success. Oh, dang. Got it. Okay. Hickamachow, thank you for the subscription. Much appreciated. Just in time to see us lose horribly. Alright, we got 2 successes, so we move up to 2 spaces. Cost of 1 time. And I think we're just going to go straight to the dock. At this point, this is our only avenue based on our cards. So that's the walk. Then we want to search the dock, so we'll play our search card here. We still get 3 dice, so let's see. At least 1 success. Oh, thank goodness. 1 success. We don't have enough for the partial success. So, we take the top item card at your space. If we had failed, we could take the card, but we'd increase our horror by 2 and lose 2 time. Or we could just increase the horror and lose 2 time and not get the item. Yikes. There's got to be something useful in here. A weapon or something that can help me survive. Why is this happening to me? Alright, so we drop our time. And we take the top item card at our space. So we are in the dock. So the top item card in the dock is the pepper spray. Boom. A few squirts in their eyes and they'll think twice about messing with this girl. So it has the hand icon. So this will go into our item on hand, holding it in one hand. If the killer's in your space, you may discard this to immediately end the killer phase. Ignore their remaining movement, attacks, and other effects. That is super good. Unfortunately, it's only a one-time use. Okay, so that was a successful search. And then our only other card that we have left is Discipline. These kids need discipline. So we still are rolling 3. Let's see. 2. 0. Lame. So there's partial successes, but we have no more cards to turn those into successes, and we don't have close call to reroll. So that is just a bummer. All right. Well, we had good other rolls, so that's kind of okay. All right. So now we have 4 time to spend. Gosh, I don't even know what to do. Like, I feel like we need to get our ultimate here. But man, that is tough to get. I mean, we could sprint twice. And just bank on that. That's 2-4. Yeah. All right. We'll spend our 4 on sprints, and that'll reset. We'll pick up all these 0 costs. Put the discipline back. The walk goes here, search goes there. Digging the spooky music. Yeah, they had an ad in their game for Fabler. What was it? It's like FablerMusic.com, Fabler something.com, and they're partnered with Foreteller, and it's a subscription thing, but they have you can use the music and the stuff that they've all put in there during streams and videos and whatnot, as long as you say where it's from. So Fabler.com, Fabler.foreteller.app is where we're at here. All right, we got all these. We purchased, we put back. Killer turn. He does not on a space with other peeps, so we are just going to the terror card. He just keeps coming. Horror increases. Lame. Puts us out of the thing here. And then he targets the nearest person, be it us or bad guys or victims. Oh no, his movement is 2 now, and he's 2 away. Oh, no good. Remember when I didn't buy a defense card? And then he attacks once. And he is attacking for 3, and when he attacks you at least once, he attacks an additional time. And he's in our space. And we have 3 health. And so, it's a good thing we had our pepper spray. We will discard our pepper spray to end the killer phase, ignore any remaining movement attacks, and any other effects. Well, that was a good one-time thing. Saved us a round, so it's not nothing. Nobody panics. They wouldn't anyway, because there were no victims killed this turn. And it is back to our turn. I think we're running away, right? Yeah, we only have a weak attack in hand to hit for 1, potentially. And we don't want that. Alright. Run away! Run away! So, we are sprinting now. Unfortunately, since he bumped up the horror, we're back to 2 dice. And, unless we focus first. You know what? We'll focus first instead of sprint. So sprint's coming back up. Focusing first. Great success. That is fine. 1 success we'll take. We drop 1 time. We drop 1 horror. Now we'll be rolling 3 dice. And now we sprint. Yes, that's the one. Welcome, Jamie Tweena. No, Jamie Twin A. That makes more sense. Enjoy some Final Girl. We're probably going to lose soon. And then we'll probably give it another shot, because it's kind of short. Okay, so we're rolling 3, because we got our horror down to 1. Oof. 1 success. No close call to reroll, so we're just taking that 1 success. Fortunately, it still lets us move 2 spaces at the cost of 1 time. So, here we go. Run. Let's go across the lake and up to the cliff. Okay. Go us. Alright. That seemed to work. Let's sprint again. Still roll 3 because we're in the green. There we go. That's 2 successes. So that costs us 1 time, but we can move up to 3 spaces this time. Okay, so let's see. We can get him and escape. Get him to escape. That could be good. And then maybe gain some time back. Or if we 1, 2, 3, then we're a little closer to, like, Try to get there. And we could walk. And then maybe short rest. Ooh, yeah. Okay. We'll try that. So 3, we'll go 1, 2, 3 up here. What's up, Blunder? That is a fancy emote. Alright. So that was our sprint. Now we are going to attempt to walk with 3 dice. Oh, that's not good. Alright. Wow. So we can either move up to 1 space and lose a health and 2 time, or just lose 2 time and not go anywhere. Okay. We're going to do the top thing. So we will move 1 space, take a dude with, lets this guy escape. He's going to go to +2 time, which puts to 5. Then we lose a health. And then we lose 2 time. So we're back at the same thing. But we're 1 step closer to that. I hate it. Now we will short rest. And let's have a better roll, please. Better roll. We need that ultimate. Better roll. There's a success. I have focus and weak attack. Yes, we do that. For the partial success, we will discard the other 2 cards that we have. No cards left. But we heal 2. We're almost back at full health. Yeah, there's so little health in this. It is crazy. All right, that's our turn. So we have 3 time to spend. Ugh. Everything's always terrible. Alright, we're in a position now that if he attacks us and hits for 3, he will attack us again because of his Dark Obsession, but if we successfully guard, we can survive, potentially. So, we'll get guard for 2 and close call for 1 is our 3, and then our single walk every other turn is rough. Okay, so those are the cards we're getting. These are the cards we're putting back. Focus, short rest, walk, sprint, focus. So I definitely get kind of the difficulty of trying to maybe not taking both copies of a single card in 1 turn, because then you can't take it the next turn. But sometimes you need to run across the map? I don't know. Alright, so we have a guard, a close call, and a walk. Let's see what Hans does. He's still on his basic thing, so he's not moving and attacking his spot. And then Terror. Oh boy. Minor Dark Power, Unholy Speed. Hans has moves 1 additional space for each boot icon, and it increases his health by 2. Awesome. That's what we want. So that'll go up here. And he gets 2 more health. I do own the entire gameplay set. I did a gameplay all-in, and then realized that I didn't do the storage boxes because I'm good at things. So I did like gameplay and then the mats, and that was it. And then the Paula Deming promo, because I like Paula Deming. But that's it. So I have since ordered the storage boxes, And I think there was something else that I wanted to get. Oh, maybe like the gruesome death things. I think that's a PDF somewhere. I was going to look it up beforehand and I completely forgot. Blunder, if you have access to the PDFs for Season 1 gruesome death things and you can link it to me in the Discord, I will definitely be reading that when we get smashed by Hans. Okay, Unholy Speed. He didn't activate this turn, basically, so that's something. A brief little respite, I suppose. Upkeep, nothing happens. On mobile, alright. That's okay, no worries. Okay, down to us. We can walk, and we prepped the guard. So I guess we're just walking this turn. Hopefully we can get a 2. If we can get 2, we can get this dude out of here. And that will be great. Yeah, the dice tower. Yeah, this was the best man gift when I was best man for a buddy. He got me this dice tower. He's like, what sort of thing do you need for board games that you don't just already have? And I didn't really have a dice tower, so he had this made for me, and it is awesome. I dig it. Okay, our turn. So we were trying to walk 2 spaces so we can get this guy. So let's see. Play the walk. We're still in the green, so we get our 3 dice for this. And here we go. 1 success and a partial success. Alright. So here's the dilemma. I'd like to keep the guard card because protection. I would have to discard both in order to make a second success to let me rescue this person. If I close call, I could re-roll, maybe even spend 2 time and re-roll. Oh, it's all dice, not choose dice. Or I can play close call to re-roll 1 die and hope that it's a success. And if not, then I'm locked into it. Okay. Here's the plan. I will spend both to get a second success. 1 time, move up to 2 spaces. Okay. Moving back, moving out, rescued. And then... Oh, we could just buy a guard. Okay. We'll do the +2 time to go up to 7, so we have more purchasing power. So maybe we buy the Retaliate. I don't know. Alright, we'll figure that out in a moment. Okay, we've walked. We got the dude. Maybe the music isn't helping. It's a little more strenuous. I don't know. We're keeping it anyway because it's awesome. Okay, that's it for our turn. So now we purchase stuff. We have 7. Okay, so the main difference between Retaliate and Guard. Retaliate, you can actually do damage back. Obviously, it's a Retaliate. Good job, Cloud Art. You're winning at that. Guard also ignores all the damage. We have 7. I feel like we're not gonna make it to these guys to get them out. So maybe we try for discipline for 2, and then 3-4 for guard. And then 5-6 sprint. 7 close call. That's 4 for all 7. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. Let's do it. Alright, close call goes back, guard goes back, walk goes back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright. So we have a guard in case he gets to us. He's still not doing anything there. He wants fresh blood. No victims on the board. Discard and draw the next terror card. Otherwise, move toward the nearest victim. Double move. Hans, and then his unholy speed. Hans moves 1 additional space for each boot. So he moves 3 for each boot. So he moves 6 spaces. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever. He's there. And then he attacks once. Thankfully, even though he has a 3 attack, he still only hits 1 victim. So they gown. When they are gown, that goes up 1. Oh no. Which means the horror goes up 1. Oh no. Which means we're back to 2 dice. Ugh. I hate it. Alright. Cards discarded. Upkeep. Nothing. Nope. There is something. We finally have an instance of panic. So since he has killed a victim this turn, during the panic phase, any other victim that's in his location will panic. So we roll a die for them. It's a 1. The only way off of this space, and it's kind of hard to see anything, is a 3 through 6. So a 1 is not shown off of this location, so he does not move. Not great. Okay. Back to us. I really don't want him to kill that guy. Alright, let's take a look. 1, 2, 3 spaces away is a sprint. We have a sprint and a walk. So at most, we could get there and get here. 2 away. God, he's just gonna come right in. Unless... Okay. Alright. Hardcore time. Yep. Okay. This is going to be fun. We're going to try to focus. Okay. We only roll 2 because we're in the gray. We got a success. 1 success. Lower the horror. Costs 1 time. Okay. That's fine. Focus is done. Now, we're going to use Discipline, which is our signature action. We're now in the green, so we roll 3 dice. Oh, that's real bad. Good thing we have a close call. We will spend 2 time to reroll all the dice. Okay. We are going to drop short rest and focus to get a second success. Place a victim from out of the play area into your thing, and take the victim save benefit. We're going to take an action card that's a max of 2 time. We're going to take this sprint. Okay, we're going to play a sprint. We have 3 dice. Let's go. Sneak him out of there. 1 success. I mean, we're all in on this strategy, I think. So I'm going to drop the weak attack and the walk to get a 2nd success. Sprint then costs 1 time. Wait. I think I missed a thing. I didn't drop 2 time from the close call. Yep, there we go. That's better. Okay, so I discarded 2 cards for the partial success to sprint 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Sup. Did I move the time down for sprint? Hang on. Okay, discipline didn't cost anything. Focus, we lost 1. This we lost 2, so that's 3, and the sprint is 4 down from 6 to 2. Okay, yep. We're in there. Alright. Sprint. We need this. We need this double here. We super need it. Oh, no. Don't have enough cards. Oh, that hurts. It was so close. It would have been amazing. Would have been amazing if we got him out there. So 1 success is move 2 spaces, cost 1 time. Yep. So now we'll end up dying. Yeah, let's go back here. 1, 2. 1 space away. We'll keep guard in hand to avoid a hit. Probably won't matter, but just in case. We have 1 time to spend. That's going to be close call. And then we get our free walk. Yeah. We in there now. Honestly, this has gone a lot longer than I was expecting it to. Especially after that first turn of getting like 4 bloodlust in the first thing. I thought it was going to be... And I mean, technically, we did rise from the grave. You know, he left us for dead, but we got back up. So that chances of that happening aren't that great. So, okay. We have those. His turn. He now doesn't have the guy in his spot, which is good. So it's terror time. He kept swinging his hammer and killing and killing. No victims on the board. Discard and draw another one. Otherwise, move toward the nearest victim and attack. Then move toward the nearest victim and attack. So he has crazy movement. So he gets there and he attacks. Victims take the hit first. Blah. Bloodlust increases because he killed a dude. Now he's attacking for 4 damage, which is too much for us to survive. Lame. Then he targets another victim, which there is none, so he doesn't move. But when he attacks, even if he's not targeting the thing that is in his spot, if there is a target in his location when he has an attack thing, even if it's not his target, he still hits them. So he is hitting us for 4, which means that we do have to use the guard. So here we go. Guard here. We still are... The horror didn't increase, so we still are rolling 3 dice. That's something, at least. Alright, here we go. We need 2 successes, please. Oh, that's none successes. Okay. Then I guess Oh, our time reset to 6. Okay. So, if I discard both cards to ignore all the damage, I'll have full health, but no cards to do anything with on the turn. So then I just buy cards and pass turn. That's not great, but even if I re-roll and get a success to block all the damage, I still would only have a walk. That wouldn't really get me far enough away. I mean, I guess I would avoid this attack. Oh. It doesn't matter. Because whenever Hans attacks you at least once, he attacks an additional time. And we have 1 guard. So even if we ignore all the damage, he attacks again and hits for 4, and we lose. Aww. Lame. Well, in that case, I'm going to use Close Call, lower the time by 2, and re-roll all these dice. Yeah. You're going to earn that second hit. No, you're not. Alright. So we got no successes on guard. Is reduce damage by 1 to a minimum of 1. Oh, hell. It's going to attack. Dodge. Deflect. Or whatever I have to do to stay alive. Yeah. Didn't make it. So we were hit for 3 in the first attack, which is down to here. Ooh, we have an additional die. And then he attacks again for 4. And we have walk. No! Smoosh. Okay. Let me see real quick if the gruesome death things are available. To read. Oh, I don't really want to type this into Google. Okay. Gruesome deaths. Final girl. Oh no, not the board game. There, yeah, let's. Final girl downloads. Rulebook, feature films, Camp Happy Trails, gruesome deaths. Okay, we're gonna get there. Open it. He didn't even get to his finale. It's unfortunate. 11:30. I can go again. All right, Camp Happy Trails. Okay, what's supposed killer? In combination with a terror card. Okay. Interesting. Okay, general deaths. No. Oh, okay. I see what's happening here. This was from... He kept swinging his hammer and killing and killing. Alright, I think that's... Yep. Okay. Where'd it go? Okay, here we go. The bodies were stacking up around Hans as he swung his hammer. Cracked skulls and ruptured organs lay scattered about him. Though his face wasn't showing, Haley thought he looked content with his work. We'll say Lori thought, yeah. She couldn't do anything, and she knew it. She got down on her knees and prayed. Hans approached her and raised his hammer in the air. and brought it down on her bowed head. Woof. Alright. So we died. Let me just log this. Actually, that is... We'll do a take two video. So that, my friends, is Final Girl. And this was the first scenario. We've already off to a great start. First scenario for Hans at Camp Happy Trails. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that, and we will be back for more pretty much immediately. So till next time, keep on gaming.